Hi, everyone. This is Charles Hoskinson broadcasting live from warm, sunny Colorado. Very brief, very quick video I wanted to make to get ahead of a lot of the FUD that's been floating around. So there seems to be a strange series of dialogues that are occurring uh, as it relates to Node 135.3 and the current upgrade for Vasil. So here's what happened. Node version 135 was what we forked the testnet with. Many people tested it, many people used it, but it turned out that there was a very subtle, extremely strange bug in the implementation of the ECDSA implementation that we had, which enabled support for Bitcoin style cryptography, which was necessary for a lot of bridge protocols that were coming with Vasil. When the transactions were constructed in a certain way on the testnet, it would cause a soft fork on the testnet. So this caused obviously a serious problem. And because the testnet had already been forked and this bug was already there as a final stage of testing, it basically broke the testnet. This has been known for quite some time. And the response to it is just simply to roll back that feature and disable it so that it can be improved and corrected for the next hard fork, post Vasil. Two other bugs were discovered during additional testing. Some of those bugs on our side, and some of those bugs independently replicated by the SPOs who chose to take an intermediate version, 135.2, and actually deploy it on the mainnet. All of these things have been resolved, and the code in question that we're talking about for the Vasil hard fork has been heavily tested, survived a hard fork, lived in a mixed node environment, and it's even demonstrating that today on the mainnet because 17% of the SPOs are running 135.3. And we're in a situation where we have high confidence that the code we're looking at is pretty good. Now, SPOs can demand different testing regimes, and they're free to do so. And as stated, until 75% of the SPOs upgrade, we're not going to do a hard fork. So they're in charge of the process of when and how Vasil ships. And there's been a great dialogue. I believe there was a call yesterday or this morning where over 300 of the SPOs attended. That's what I was told. And there was a strategy and plan for the types of testing scenarios that make them comfortable. This is a normal process. It's done on a regular basis, again and again and again and again, through all the hard forks we've been through together. Some of the SPOs chose then to go and do interviews, and it resulted in the creation of sensationalist videos that basically implied that there's a lurking catastrophic potential bug and that the current Cardano code is not tested at all, which is just not true. Yes, a new testnet could be completely respun, and it may be worthwhile pursuing that in short time, or it could be worthwhile being a little bit more careful and spinning a more capable testnet that has more disaster recovery inside of it. These things are being discussed at the moment. Post-mortem and retrospective is also being written up, which will be quite exhaustive about how did this bug slip through with 135, which was released into the testnet and forked on the testnet back in, I believe, June. And that will come. But we have to deal with the problems of today, which is getting Vasil out. And we have high confidence on our end that the engineering behind 135.3 is solid. Again, SPOs are independently able to verify that and test it themselves and have been working with our people to set up test environments that make them feel comfortable for the release. Somehow this was not good enough for certain SPOs, and then they decided to take to Twitter, Reddit, and other channels, and now it's created a narrative that there's some sort of conflict or quality issue that we currently do not have. We all get egg on our face when something is pushed to testnet that shouldn't have been. And the post-mortem will be done. A retrospective will be done. But it's important to always take a look at things in the bounds of where we're at. At the moment, the code in 135.3, the vast majority of it is unchanged. since 135. That code has already survived a hard fork. That code has been extensively tested by DApp developers. That code has been tested again and again. And that code is running on mainnet with some of the stake pool operators, more than 10%. It's running in a mixed node environment at the moment. Additional testing can and should be done, okay, but then it has to be made clear what are the goals in the specific test scenarios that people are interested in testing. This was discussed in the call with the SBOs. A plan was reached, and our people are working with them to accommodate. What is unproductive is for this to spill out into YouTube, Reddit, and Twitter. It provides no value, and all it's done is been weaponized and used to attack and degrade the project and imply that we're significantly far away from Vasil forking. We're significantly far away. There's massive bugs or quality issues in Cardano, that there's somehow a crisis in the Cardano ecosystem. There is no crisis. There is no issue. Things are, for the most part, working. The very fact that the bug was discovered on the testnet and that the testnet fell over is a good indication that the testing processes are working. Now, it's not good that it's discovered very at the end, because it slows things down. It causes a loss of confidence. You have to respin a lot of things. That's fine. But let's be clear here, this was not a mainnet bug. As for the discovery of 135.2, the issues was having in a mixed node environment, we had yet to spin up an official release. And that was one of the things to test in that release, which would have been done. So it was independently confirmed by people watching the mainnet who decided to upgrade to 135.2. That's great. We're happy that SPOs are finding bugs. That's a good thing. That's a very good thing. But again, to infer that no testing has been done, to infer that now we have to go back to the beginning and retest the code that's already been extensively and exhaustively tested again and again and again, will not produce a different outcome. All it will do is introduce months of delays for no additional value. Now, if there are new test scenarios, new test environments, new test outcomes, new types of tests that have not been run before, then the time for that discussion is now, in the dialogue between Sam and our other people and the SPOs. And we can certainly figure out scenarios that are reasonable and run those scenarios. That's the point of the calls. That's the point of the Discord. That's the point of these types of things. It is not productive, though, to go to YouTube, Reddit, Twitter, and use that as the channel for a debate. It's not informed. It has no value as a medium. And the best case scenario is people ignore the debate. The worst case scenario is it gets weaponized to harm the brand and reputation of the project. It's that simple. So I don't make these decisions. Cardano truly is decentralized. And again, no hard fork will occur until the SPOs have upgraded, at least 75% of them. So it's actually in their hands about what they feel comfortable about and what they'd like to see. And they'll make that decision, not me. All I can do is tell you where our confidence lies. And our confidence does lie with 135.3. Now, could a bug be discovered? Sure. Could a significant show-stopping issue be discovered? Sure, it's software. And that's the nature of software. What is the likeliness of that? Fairly low, given that this code, for the most part, has been in production for quite some time and tested relentlessly for quite some time. That's just the reality. People can disagree, but that's the point of having a 75% stake pool threshold. Now, that threshold will be made explicit in a future SIP. And we're right now drafting that alongside some SIPs involving key governance and other things post Vasil. But I just wanted to make this video real quickly to let everybody know where we're at and just calm everybody down. And nothing is a matter, nothing's a problem. This is natural growing pain. It's an indication that Cardano is indeed decentralized and nobody can unilaterally make decisions for Cardano. It may come as a surprise to the people who've criticized us harshly and the Reddit crowds, but That's the nature of a decentralized product and a decentralized ecosystem. You require many different factions to work together in order for things to work through. Thank you.